Today, February the 4th, 2016, we take a look back at a simpler time in America's histories, the 1920s. Now, this is the Nightly News with Angel Teagle. Let's get into the news. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties, or were they? That's what we're going to be discussing today. Was it because jazz was the bee's knees, or was it because bootleggers and crooked cops could be found at every turn? Or was it because Prohibition banned alcohol? That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get into it. Some of the people in the 1920s were living the high life, living the life of luxury, going to bars, getting liquor, and traveling in their breezers, convertible cars. But on the other side of the tracks, life was very difficult for many Americans, whites and blacks, especially blacks. The combination of segregation, racism, and organizations such as the Ku Klux Klan has changed America in the 1920s for African Americans and made it difficult for them to get from ground zero to ground one at least. So, what was bad in the 1920s? Let's talk about it. So, in the 1920s, the food prices to our standards today sound pretty darn good. I'll give you some examples. Bacon, 52 cents. 1 dozen of eggs, 47 cents. 1 pound steak, 40 cents. Now, to our standards today, you would probably just leave this video and go and get some steak right now. But for the average family only making $1,407 a year in the 1920s, getting bacon and steak was a delicacy and a luxury to have if you could have it. Now, especially for African Americans. Now, Prohibition comes around and organizations promise people liquor. And what are those organizations? The Mafia. Let's get into the Mafia. Now, the Mafia, organized secret organizations, yeah, that smuggled, bootlegged, and killed others for liquor. You would never know how many people are in them, and you never know if you were in one. And the Mafia got away with murder, I tell you. But how did they stay off the radar? By bribing the 9-0, the fuzz, the police, to keep their traps shut. Now, those were most of the negatives in the 1920s. Let's get into the positive, the Roaring Twenties. Jazz became the top music in this 1920s decade, with guys like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington leading the way. And jazz also brought up more different types of jazz organizations, such as ragtime and the blues music groups. Fashion rolled around in the 1920s too, such as this fedora that I am sporting right now. Fits very nice. Post-World War I, this is the 1920s. So people have been right now wearing trench coats. And I gotta say, trench coats look pretty snazzy in my eyes. And those are the bee's knees. It looks like we are running out of time here, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to point out some sponsors. The poem that my best friend has wrote, it is The Bee's Knees, and also the new fashion magazine that is coming out from my other best friends. We are running out of time. Oh God, we are running out of time here, ladies and gentlemen. So have a nice night and continue to watch the Nightly News with Angel Teagle. This has been Angel signing off.